where today we have an amazing topic to share with you. I am one of your presenters, Alex.
And I'm your other presenter, Nick.
Now, you might be wondering, why did we start the podcast like that? Well, that's because today we have a very special game. And I named this game myself because I really wanted my knowledge of something to be documented. And it is called Speak the Speech. And the way this game is going to go is I am going to give Nick I'm going to give Nick a topic, and then he's going to give me a topic, and we are going to riff in a speech for however long we can, basically.
Yeah.
Yes. So I want to go first.
Alright. So I've got 3 prompts here.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can choose between 1, 2, or 3.
Alright. Oh no, I don't trust this. Let's see. My gut's telling me to go with 1.
Okay. Your topic is why we read messed up short stories in middle school.
Oh fuck. Wait, can I have some clarification real quick?
Yeah.
Which messed up short stories are we talking here? Because I can think of quite a few. Like Wayside Story, like that whole thing. Like that one school story, ridiculous.
So the one that came to my mind was the Yellow Wallpaper story. Did you ever read that one?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I read The Cask of Amontillado when I was like 12.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's a good one, though.
That as well. I was like, why are we reading this?
Yeah. And we read Of Mice and Men, like, frickin', when were we, 16?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my god.
That was messed up.
Alright, give me a sec. Let me put my presenter voice on.
Alright.
I'm here today with an amazing topic that I think a lot of you can relate with. Now, do you remember reading The Cask of Amontillado when you were younger? Maybe you remember being scarred by so many stories and thinking, why am I trying to read this when I'm 13? Well, today I'm going to give you that answer. Well, see, here's the thing. Whenever you're young, you don't know what life is going to be like on the outside world. But you definitely know that it's not what your life is like then. So, instead of thinking about taking normal classes of where they teach you how to do basic life skills, your teachers give you these books to show you just how bad life can be. So that you have a scale from the worst to the best. Alright? That's why. So, today I'm going to talk to you about that. So, what I have here is a graph to show the well-being of students ages 7 to 12 before and after reading. Before and after reading, I chose the Goosebumps book to be the baseline here. Because they are a well-loved young adult series and children's series, but you have to admit, anytime you read a Goosebumps book, you were a little bit fucked up after— oh, am I allowed to curse on here? You were a little bit messed up after reading it. So what I have here are 2 graphs. The first one is to show the quality of life of about 30 children, ages 7 to 12, like I said earlier, before they read the Goosebumps book. And if you'll see here, most of them are pretty high. But if we look at the second graph, which is the same test group of students, but after they read the Goosebumps book, you'll see that their numbers plummet. Now, what this graph shows is the kids getting ready for a normal life. Because they have to be subjected to the horrors of things that could not happen, so they could be prepared for the horrors of things that will happen. Sure, a puppet won't come in and kill them in their sleep, but their boss might fire them from their job. And really, which one would you prefer more? So they're prepared for so they're preparing for the absolute worst, but actually getting the mediocre worst. I believe that is why we read so many weird stories as children. But I'm not done there, because I still have to have a conversation about the topics that they often discussed. Like, let's focus on the Cask of Amontillado, for example. The whole story is about how these two men were at odds with each other, and one decided to end the other by bringing him down into the basement and sealing him up with the wine cellar. Now, this story is a great example of a moral teaching, which I believe is the main reason why we had to read so many messed up books as children, is because they wanted to instill a moral code into us. And so, when you look at the Cask of Amontillado, you see that the moral that it incites is to not make friends with bitches. Yes. So, these stories, once we read all of them in context, you can see that they start to build a good moral standing for children. Do they always work? I don't know. That's not my job. But but we can definitely say that we're leaving a very good impression on the youth of America, because we are able to show them all these books that they're able to take and interpret how they like. Let's see, what's another example of this? I have my notes here. Oh, fuck. What was another fucked up?
The Black Cat by Edgar Allan Poe.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, he gets a cat, but then he, like, kills the cat, and then the cat comes back, and then he kills his wife and seals her in the wall.
Oh, fuck, dude.
And then the police come, and then the cat is also inside the wall, meowing, so they find the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not read that when I was a child.
I feel like I definitely did.
Oh, no. I think you might have had more fucked up stories than I did. Wait, no! I got it!
You got one?
I do. Another story that I'd like to talk to you about here today is the novel Something Wicked This Way Comes. Now, this one falls a little bit more close to home because I read this story when I was 10 years old, because it was they made me read it. Now, I have a question. Why? Why would you make a 10-year-old who has a fear of clowns read a book about a demon circus ready to take away your youth at the smallest just inkling of a notion to do it? Well, I have a theory here. The reason why they made me, the youths of America, read Something Wicked This Way Comes at such a young age is to instill the fear of public places into children since they were a young age. Because think about it, pretty much any messed up story that I have thought of had something to do with a public place. Something wicked, a public place twisted into something horrible. So, Something Wicked This Way Comes, on the outside, is a wonderful circus for everyone to come and enjoy. On the inside, it's a horrible, just vespid of just creepy killing schemes by two main people. I don't know, it's been like 10 years since I've read it. But my point still stands. They are instilling the fear of public places into children at a very young age so that they know not to just go off willy-nilly without their parents or a guardian around. And that, I believe, is why we read so many messed up stories as children, because they believed that showing us the worst of humanity was the best way for us to get accustomed to the mediocre sense of humanity that we have now. Also because they wanted to instill moral codes into us at a young age, like don't be friends with bitches. And also, so that we can get a sense of fear for public places without some sort of authority figure present, which makes us complacent. I theorize that the entirety of the messed up books we read as children are a method to make us complacent against the government. Thank you. I will be taking questions after the talk. Thank you. And there we go. Yeah, dude.
You know how they do that clapping?
Yeah, just and the people stand up and they're like cheering really hard. Oh no. Oh, I don't even think we freaking told why we're doing this bit specifically.
Oh.
So the reason why we're simulating TED Talks is because I'm going to a TED Expo today, actually, in fact. Actually, it will still be today by the time you listen to this because it's a 2-day thing. But the thing about it was, they didn't say what the topics of the TED Expo are. So basically, we're just like fumbling around in the dark trying to figure out whether, like, I like TED Expos by themselves, but I'd like to know what I'm going to watch, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's something about biomedical engineering, I'm not going to be interested in that. But if it's something considering like color theory or like nonverbal communication with the body, then yes, I'm going to be interested in that. So I thought today we might try a game of what would happen if the TED Expo people didn't get their topics beforehand and had to improv one on stage. So that's why we're doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the game.
That's the game. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't trauma, like, bad?
I'm happy you asked this question. You are correct. Trauma is, in fact, quite bad. But at the same time, have you ever known the school system to be caring about your trauma? Be honest.
No.
Exactly. As I said before, it's all a system to get us complacent. They believe that if they expose us to trauma, then we will be ready for the trauma that we have to exist on a daily schedule in life, which is not correct.
That is not correct.
This is turned into a conspiracy theory.
It did. Oh
Any other questions from the crowd? Any other questions?
What if those kids like the books?
Okay, in that case, we need to have a talk. We need to have a school psychotherapist go in and talk to the children and make sure they know why they like them. Because I liked the Something Wicked This Way Comes because of how creepy it was. Not because of the themes it discussed, but because of how good the writing was. Oh, wait, can I come up with a question? Does it count if we read the messed up books on our own? And does it count if it was a messed up manga? I'm so happy you asked. If you went out and searched for the books on your own time, then no, you are not a part of the conspiracy. That just means that you wanted to explore it on your own. And with the manga, pretty much any manga you pick up has some messed up theme. So, you know what? That's on you, my dude. Can you imagine a TEDx Expo guy going, "That's on you, my dude"?
That's on you.
Alright, I will not be taking any more questions at this time. Thank you for coming. I hope you took some good notes. There will be a quiz later.
Wonderful. That was great.
Thank you. I tried my best.
Would you like to know what your other topics were?
Yes, please.
Okay, the second topic was what animals make the best memes and why.
Damn it!
And the third one is what is it like to be the maker of the world's most controversial pizza?
Damn it! Damn it! Those sound fun. Oh, shit. I did my best with the one I had, though.
Yeah, you did a good job. It was fun.
Thank you. I tried to make it funny. All right. Are you ready for
Alright.
yours?
Oh gosh, this is gonna be whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2. I'm so glad you picked this one. How are birds inherently aware of your sins against mankind?
Ah, okay. This is very important.
Yeah, here, take as much time as you need to come up with something. Oh my god.
Hold on. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to my TEDx. Today we're going to be discussing an important topic. I'm sure many of you have heard that birds are a government conspiracy theory to monitor the citizens. I'm here to tell you that you are both correct and incorrect. Birds are partially because of the government. You see how they have eyes on the sides of their heads? That's creepy. And not natural. Except for sometimes. But not for birds. You see, birds are trying to find worms in the ground. At least that's what they tell us in school. But if they're looking for worms in the ground, why are their eyes on the sides of their heads? The worms are down and not on the sides. What the birds are actually looking at are you walking down the street, driving in your car, riding your bike. And not only are they looking at you, but they can tell exactly what you've done. Because the birds are all connected. They talk to each other and to the government. And they tell everybody in the government exactly what you've done.
Oh no.
They saw you when you forgot to open the door. And they saw it when you didn't pick up that extra penny because it was on tails instead of heads. So they know that you're leaving that bad luck out there for somebody else. And that's a sin. So, that's the government part.
Okay.
They talk to the government, tell them what you're doing wrong.
Oh no.
That affects your taxes.
Oh no.
See, the more bad things you do, the less taxes you have to pay. Look at Jeff Bezos. Where are his taxes? So that's the government system. The more bad things you do, the less taxes you pay. But also, birds are partially natural. You see, they speak to each other too. They have a special bird language. And we were trying to figure out how to understand that. You might have heard of Twitter. This is humans' best attempt to understand bird language. Why do you think they're called tweets? We're trying to understand this bird language for a very important reason. Because the government doesn't understand it yet. If we, the people, can get together and understand this bird language, we can manipulate what they're reporting to the government. We can use their bird power for righteous reasons. Because right now, the system is a little corrupt. And the birds know this.
The birds know.
The birds know this. They speak to each other. They're trying to find a way to get rid of the government system. Unfortunately, birds are not allowed in Congress, in most buildings, and occasionally not even in homes. If you own a bird, you're lucky. This bird is on your side, and it will protect you. Now, you might be wondering about crows. Crows are very smart. If you help a crow, it will remember. And it will also be on your side. However, crows have many friends. Murders, as they're called. This is for a very good reason. Because they're protecting you. Once you save one crow, that whole flock of crows, that whole murder, has got your back. And they will murder someone for you.
That's true, that happened to me once!
Truth is out there. Truth is out there. So birds, they might seem kind of evil. And occasionally, they might poop next to you. Even on your cars. Maybe on your bikes. But we should consider these creatures that are graceful, they fly through the air, but also quickly walk through the sidewalks. Have very special duties to play in all of our lives. And if we can get through to the birds, we can win at life. Thank you.
That was wonderful!
Does anyone have any questions?
I have one here.
Yeah, go for it.
How important are pigeons to the system?
Pigeons are incredibly important. Pigeons are everywhere. You may have heard of the movie Spies in Disguise. That is partially correct. Some birds are human spies.
So wait. All
Yes.
pigeons are Will Smith?
Yes. Some of them, the Will Smith pigeons, are human spies. The other pigeons are just a part of the system. And the Will Smith pigeons are there to monitor the regular pigeons to make sure that the system doesn't lose control. Unfortunately, this means that we might have to sacrifice the Will Smith pigeons.
Oh no!
But we might also be able to convince them to change their ways.
They're still human under there.
They're still human.
Question here.
Yeah. Yes.
Does that mean kookaburras are part of the Australian government for birds?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh.
Yes. So each government has their own system of birds. Some birds, they cross over the borders. Some birds don't like to be held down, but these birds are very important. They're ambassador birds.
They're migratory ambassadors.
Migratory ambassadors.
Oh.
They get together like a UN meeting and they talk about the world
Through bird eyes.
through bird eyes.
Question.
Which is very important. Yes. Next question.
Where do chickens fall on the scale?
Well, you see, most chickens live in coops and live with farmers.
Mm.
Chickens are inherently not so evil because they rely on us humans. However, do not mess with their babies unless you have explicit permission.
Peck.
Otherwise, you might get pecked,
Mm.
and they might get upset and report you to the government.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? What about flightless birds?
Yeah.
Flightless birds. That's a very important question. And you might be thinking about penguins
Yes.
specifically.
I saw a penguin once.
You saw a penguin?
Once.
Oh, very good. They exist. Penguins. A lot of them live on Antarctica. Where you might be thinking, there's not a lot of humans there. And you're right. However, sometimes there are people there. And Antarctica might just have the best chance of preserving life from other worlds. I say maybe, because I'm not 100% sure. But the government also might be thinking this. And those birds are also spies. Looking for extraterrestrial life.
Science division.
You also might be thinking about kiwis.
Oh no! Not the kiwis!
The kiwis.
Not the kiwis!
Those birds are very special and hold a place very near and dear to my heart. Because they're very cute. Kiwis are very good. You see, they cannot fly. That is why they're called flightless birds. And since they are low to the ground, they mostly focus on not so big things. Whereas other birds that can see you from above or from the side, they can see everything that you do.
They have a sense of superiority.
Kiwis can't. And so they have much less to report because they see much less.
Yes.
Kiwis are very good then.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Does that mean that Thanksgiving is like the government trying to throw us off the trail?
That's also a very important question. Thanksgiving is a people's holiday.
Yes.
We have taken the birds that will not give in, and we are benefiting from them. Thanksgiving is, in this way, a revolt. And one that, if for no other reason, we should be happy about the fact that it is a revolt. Maybe not the history that they tell us about in school.
No.
But for the revolt, we should be happy. And thankful, too, as the name suggests. I will not be taking any more questions. Have a nice day, everyone.
Oh, I love that! You have a really good voice for TED Talks. The pacing of that was exactly like a TED Talk. Oh my god. You did really good. That killed me. That Twitter bit. Oh my god. Well, do you want to hear your other topics?
Yes, please.
Alright, so the first, number one was, should tricks stop its discrimination and make them for everyone?
I love that.
Yeah, and the third one is how the amount of ceramic animals you own can correspond with how much you like to watch Food Network shows.
I love that as well. good joke. I love that.
We had a good time
We
here
had
today.
a good time.
Oh my god. Well, that was Speak the Speech.
That was Speak the Speech.
The make your own TEDx speech game that we came up with.
Yes.
If you ever
Trademark Gangayer.
Trademark Gangayer. If you ever do a speech with your friends with this topic, tweet it at me. At Galactic Sphinx. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Think of this as just a really good improv game to play with your friends.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
I did not expect that to go that well. Oh my god.
Me either.
I'm so glad you picked the ones about the birds. Cause I made that up on my own, and I was just like, I really hope he chooses 2.
And I did.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh, that's really funny. I kind of wish I was able to do the animal memeable one. That's really funny. Ooh, all right.
Right.
Well, I believe we have come to the end. I know this is a bit shorter than what we usually do, but I gotta get ready for the TED Expo, so it's just a little bit shorter. But we had a lot of good laughs in this one.
We did.
Which is all I ever hope for. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I think, where we're going to leave you here today. Remember, we believe in you and have a good day.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.